We have a special treat today. We're gonna follow Matt to do a termite inspection report on this house and see, get into what he does for his work. And he'll talk us through what he's looking for and what he's found as far as this house is concerned, and some of the things of do's and don'ts. If you're gonna do a termite inspection report, he's the guy.
Hi, my name is Matt. I'm with Z-Best Pest Solutions out of the Bay Area, and this is a house we're going to do a termite inspection on for real estate. So,
what does the guy do when he does a home inspection report?
So mainly what we look for: foundation cracks, fungus, dry rot, water damage really is the key, and then termite finally. And a lot of times what you see here is my hand is a little poker, so we'll go around and we poke all the siding, all the trim, all the window trims to make sure and see if there's any hidden termites. Now, water rot, you'll normally see, like if you come over to the garage, you'll see we have some issues. I'm not one of those guys who likes to go and destroy the house, but you can poke around and see that all this is, now I'm up into the roof. So we've got some big damage. A lot of the time termites will chew through things, but they won't eat the paint. So something will be wavy and you'll poke it and it'll pop right through, and then you'll see.
Why wouldn't they eat the paint?
They don't like it.
They don't like paint?
They don't like paint. So that's why I always tell people a good coat of paint really will help you long-term, termite-wise. But they can always fly in through the vents, and they start underneath and they work their way up. But majority of the time, if they're somewhere, this is an older home. So a lot of the times these old homes, the wood, it's so old, it's really old growth. So you don't find them a lot unless there was an addition.
Is it true that almost every home in Silicon Valley will have some form of termites?
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, this is their home, right?
It's either subterranean, which come from the soil, and they'll build little, basically the thickness of this, straws up the foundation, and then they go into the wood. Those guys are very destructive.
Oh, wow.
Dry woods, they bounce around. So they'll come from the fences, the trees, they swarm into the house, and then they start.
Oh.
But they'll swarm every summer. So what you don't want which is why you see a lot of tents, is because they'll start here, and then they end up over here, and then they end up over here, and then they end up down here. They scatter.
They scatter.
Subterranean, they're more centered to the soil. So once you do a soil treatment, you're done, and it's usually good for a long time.
Okay.
If you do the treatment right.
So are they two different species of termites, or just...
Yeah, so drywood, there's three. There's drywood, subterranean, and dampwood. Dampwood, don't ever be sold on a dampwood treatment. You have a serious moisture issue. Water, there's a massive leak, heavy rot.
Right.
So like if you look at a tree that you can go through and just kick through, big time rot, you got other issues than termites. You fix the rot, those guys go away. So the carpenter ants, usually you'll find them if in a mountain situation, there'll be trees overhanging the roof structure. They'll come up the tree a lot of the times, or through power lines. And that's how they get onto the house. You'll usually find them up high. They're an interesting ant to get rid of sometimes. If you got to find where they're coming from is the key. And you'll get rid of them every time.
And it's hard to tell the difference between a subterranean termite versus a...
Well, not necessarily. So subterranean termites, if there were to be subs in this house, when you poke into their galleries, if we can find some, we'll show you guys. There's mud. You'll see dirt. Drywood termite galleries are very clean. So as you break into the wood, you won't see anything but pellets. Basically, I tell everyone it's like salt and pepper droppings. That's what you'll find. Subterranean, you don't really see the droppings as much, but you see dirt all throughout the wood. You're like, why is this dirt coming up in the house? Those are how you distinguish the difference. You can tell.
You can tell.
You can tell.
Okay, and one's not necessarily worse than the other.
I'll show you This is the one we just doing last week here. So this is all subterranean termite damage. See all the dirt, that's all mud. This is in a window header, all the way up into the attic framing. So all the sheetrock's gone here from the ceiling, we pulled it off.
Wow.
And all the way around the house was like that. The most damage I've actually ever seen in 8 years of owning this business. But yeah, and that's the basics of of a termite inspection. It's really just really thorough, poking around, seeing what's here, making sure that there's no hidden damage that the customer will move into.
So when you go down into a crawl space, what exactly are you looking for when you go into a crawl space?
Same as similar as you go around the outside. Underneath, you'll find plumbing leaks, which have ruined subfloors, any kind of moisture issues, and cracks. Again, the foundation. Because a lot of times you won't be able to see this foundation from the outside. A lot of times you can only see it from the inside.
Right.
But again, subterranean termite tubes, which would come up from the dirt, up the foundation, and then they get into the wood. Sometimes you'll crawl into a crawl space and you'll see little fingers coming out of the soil, and that's all dirt tubes that they build.
Oh.
They'll just start reaching right out of the ground.
Oh, wow.
So it's very interesting.
And this
Pretty
is
cool to see.
subterranean termites.
Yeah. So dry wood, you won't see that. You'll just see those salt and pepper droppings,
Right.
sprinkled throughout the crawl space. And that's how you can tell their locations.